7 strategies to help you cope with an alcoholic spouse. When your loved one suffers from an addiction, it can tear you apart. It is obvious that the mere presence of the addiction removes your ability to communicate honestly. Being married to an alcoholic spouse is even worse. There are so many feelings involved. And the people you love have the power to hurt you more than anyone else in your life. You are affected from the time you wake up in the morning to the time you go to sleep at night. When you know how to deal with your alcoholic spouse, life can become better. Here are 7 tips that will help you cope with an alcoholic spouse. Number 1. Remember that severe alcoholism is a disease. It is very hard to believe that your spouse is no longer making an active choice to drink. However, when someone is an alcoholic, the choice to drink is no longer within his control, at least to some extent. When drinking becomes a severe problem, it is given the diagnosis of alcohol use disorder. It is considered to be a chronic relapsing brain disorder. It is characterized by the inability to stop or even cut back on heavy alcohol use, even if there are adverse social, work, or health consequences. In order to fully understand this, it can be helpful to think of the way that you think of any other disease, such as cancer, heart disease, or a serious mental illness. Like those diseases, addiction is a complex disease process with biological, psychological, social, and environmental components. However, until the individual makes the decision to deal with the drinking, the disease of alcoholic use disorder remains unabated. Number 2. Don't be angry. When your instinct is to respond to your spouse with anger when you know he or she has been drinking, it becomes tiring to cope with the stress. At times, it may even become unbearable. Even so, maintain a sense of peace and patience. It may help to find a friend you can vent to about your anger. However, try to avoid targeting your spouse with those feelings. It may help to continually remind yourself that what you are really angry at is the disease, not your spouse. Remember, a good temper is much more likely to have a positive effect on your spouse in the long run. What you really want to accomplish is recovery from the disease of alcoholism. Maintaining a positive attitude even if you eventually have to leave your spouse, is the best way to achieve that. Number 3. Focus on yourself. Your spouse's alcoholism will take over your life if you allow it. There is nothing you can do to change your spouse's alcoholism. That type of change has to come from within him or her. However, what you can do is make sure you are taking good care of yourself. Invest in your relationships with other people, with your children, and with your extended family members. Treat yourself to something you enjoy on occasion in order to give yourself a break from the turmoil at home. For instance, get a pedicure, or enjoy a night out at the movies with friends. Doing these things will give you the stamina and resolve you need during this difficult time. Number 4. Have a simple, honest discussion, but do it the right way. It's good to talk about how your spouse's alcoholism is affecting you and your marriage, but make sure you choose your words carefully. Statements that begin with "you always" or "you make it hard to" are only going to make your spouse defensive. Instead, choose "I" statements to convey how you feel, such as, "I'm having a difficult time sleeping at night because of the late nights you're keeping." Be gentle, but be firm in your statements. Above all, don't become angry or accusing. Number 5. Don't enable your alcoholic spouse or try to prevent consequences. One of the mistakes many people make is enabling their alcoholic spouses or trying to prevent consequences from occurring. This does nothing to solve the problem. Instead, it only prevents your spouse from experiencing the results of his or her actions, that could eventually lead to recovery. Number 6. Allow your spouse to explain his or her life choices to others. Your spouse may ask you to lie for him or her or try to cover up a bad choice involving alcohol. Politely decline to do so. Remember that it is not your job to shed a good light on your spouse. Refusing to do so forces him or her to take responsibility. This may lead to a quicker recovery. Number 7. If your alcoholic spouse is interested in getting professional help, encourage this to happen quickly. Eventually, your spouse may come to you and express an interest in recovery. This is the time to encourage him or her to do so. You can provide website links or phone numbers to help. It is important to act fast because the determination to get help can fade as quickly as it appeared. I believe you enjoyed the video. Please, before you go, subscribe to our channel. Also like, share, and leave a comment. Thank you. See you in the next video.